Hi ladies, quick video for you on protein because I'm a bit concerned that some of you aren't eating enough of it, and I want to stress to you just how important it is. I think a lot of people associate protein with building muscles, which it is used for, but it's used for so much more. And if you're not getting enough of it, you're trying to lose weight, it could be stopping you, and it could be stopping you in a lot of other ways that affect your health, or could be hampering you in a lot of other ways that affect your health. So I want to quickly talk to you about protein, how much you should be getting, why you need it, where you can get it from, how much looks like, and any other questions you've got really. So in a nutshell, what is the stuff to begin with? It is, I think of it as a necklace. So on a necklace you've got loads of beads, yeah, and they're all joined up to make the necklace. And in a protein, all of those beads are what we call amino acids, okay? And those beads are simply folded and wrapped up into different structures and those are the proteins. Now, in a nutshell, your body doesn't give a monkeys about the proteins. What it's interested in are these beads, these amino acids that your proteins are made up of, okay? And the reason diet is so important in protein is so important in our diet is our body can make some of these amino acids itself, but using other things from the diet that it gets, but it can't make all of them. So there are 8 what are called essential amino acids, and you'll know from essential fats the body can't make those fats, so we have to get them from the diet. Amino acids are the same. There are 8 of them. No matter how clever your body is, it cannot make them. It has to get them through what you eat, okay? So that's how important they are. So I want to tell you how important they are. And if I give you some of the roles of what these amino acids are used for in the body, it might make you realise just how important they are, and it might make you view protein a little bit differently when it comes to your diet. So, yes, they are used to make our muscles, okay, but that really is insignificant when you think of the other things that they're used for. They're used to make our hormones. Now, that is flipping huge, okay, because I'm not just talking about sex hormones. I'm not just talking about estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, which are important in themselves. They make us the calm person we are, or the wild beast that we are. They give us breast soreness, they give us PMT. The balance of them can cause us all kinds of issues. But there are millions of other hormones in our body. Well, not millions, but there are a hell of a lot of them. Our immune function works on hormones. Our response to meals and blood sugar levels are hormone coordinated. So many things in our bodies are reliant on our hormones functioning well, and proteins, amino acids are needed to make the hormones. So if you've not got the right amino acids in your body, don't expect your hormone system, your endocrine system, to be working well. It's used to make our enzymes. This is possibly bigger than the hormones thing. Every single reaction that takes place in your body, and again, there probably are millions of those, or at least thousands, is catalyzed by an enzyme. You don't get a biological reaction happening without an enzyme. And enzymes need amino acids. The structure of them needs amino acids to exist, to be there. So inadequate amino acids, inadequate enzymes, inadequate bodies, effectively, okay? And immune chemicals that run our immune system, that keep us healthy, that stop us constantly being bombarded by infections and picking stuff up, need proteins. They need amino acids from the proteins, okay? And on top of all of that, to kind of intertwine it, the transport bodies that move all these things around our bodies to where they need to be, they move things around to the enzymes, to the immune chemicals, to the hormones I was talking about earlier. Those transport bodies need amino acids, as in they're needed to make the transport bodies. So in a nutshell, if you're not getting enough protein, your body is not functioning as it should be, period, okay? End of. Forget muscle mass, forget weight maintenance, all those daily biological functions that your body needs to do in order for you to exist and be healthy as an individual cannot happen if you're not getting adequate protein in your diet. So hopefully that gives you an idea of just how important it is. Now, when we ingest proteins and they're broken down, so these beads are stripped off, okay, so these amino acids are separated, they go into something that's called a plasma amino acid pool. And the way I liken this is this amino acid pool needs to be topped up all the time because, like I just said, amino acids are so important. They're being used by the body constantly. So I've just used a bit of insulin because I've just had some rice with my lunch, for example, and my blood sugar needs to be kept level. Because that insulin's been used, we need some amino acids to remake that insulin for next time insulin's needed, as an example. So it's constantly being used. So this pool is constantly being drained. You need to keep it topped up. And I liken this to, it's like trying to keep a sink topped up when you haven't put the plug in the bottom of it. So it's constantly draining away, and the only way you're going to maintain that amino acid pool is by continuously pouring water into the pool to keep it topped up. You pouring water into that pool is you ingesting proteins through your diet to keep those amino acids in that pool. Okay, hope that makes sense. So what should you eat and how much? Now, the best sources of protein are animal based, only because they contain more of the essential amino acids, the ones I was talking about before. So you're talking eggs, eggs, fish, meat, that kind of thing. But don't think for a second that you can't get all the protein you need from a vegetarian diet, because you absolutely can, okay? There was some talk a little while ago, or not that long ago actually, of saying that you can't get all the essential amino acids from a vegetarian diet. You absolutely can, and there was belief that you needed to combine certain sources together in order to get all the essential amino acids. Again, not so much truth in that. A lot of the sources do have all the essential amino acids together in them already. But what you do need to be aware of if you're a vegetarian is that they have a lot less of them per quantity of food. So vegetarian diets are absolutely fine, but as a vegetarian or a vegan, you need to be conscious, probably more so than someone who's a omnivore who eats meat, about your protein levels, because you're going to need to combine your sources more, and you're going to need to eat more of it, more of the quantity, less of the carbohydrate food, in order to get your protein intake. Okay, so you need to be a bit more on the ball when it comes to protein if you are a veggie. So then it comes to quantities, and I want to talk to you about this because I'm not sure a lot of you are actually equating how much protein we need correctly. So there's a guide of 1 gram per kilo of body weight per day. So say you weigh 70 kilos, that would equate to 70 grams of protein a day. But in reality, that's just the amount to prevent protein deficiency. And I'm not on this earth to kind of live at a point where I'm just on the edge of deficiency. You want to work, you want to be a fully functioning individual that's balanced with life and health. So you want optimal health, okay? And there's a lot of research now, especially if you're training regularly, which a lot of you are, that you need to be looking at nearer double that, which then equates to, and this is what I aim for, about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So as an idea, I weigh about 120 pounds, so I'm looking to get about 120 grams of protein into my diet every day. Now again, what does that look like? People don't understand what 120 grams of protein looks like. 120 grams of steak is not 120 grams of protein, because that steak is made up of water, it's made up of fat, it's made up of protein, it's made up of lots of things. Not all of it is protein. So, for example, today, I've had a couple of turkey burgers that were made with half a pack of mince. So they were made with 250 grams of turkey mince. That equates to about 50 grams of protein. I had that for my breakfast. For my lunch, I had with other stuff a small tin of tuna, you know, the 120 gram tins of tuna. That contains another 30 grams of protein. So far today, with a bit of rice as well, which will add another little bit in, I've had about 80 grams of protein. So if I'm aiming for my 120, I need about another 40, and I'm having some cod tonight that should give me, a decent fillet of cod should give me my other 40 grams. Okay, so I need to cut this now so that I can get this on YouTube. But ask yourself, are you getting enough? Okay, don't be worried about having too much. There was some scaremongering not long ago about when the Atkins diet was popular, that you could get kidney issues if you ate too much protein. If you've got healthy kidneys, there's no reason for that to happen. There's no reason for that to happen. Eat a variety of sources. You'll only get the essential amino acids from different foods. So today, like I've had pork, tuna and cod. If I ate only beef every day, I'd only get a certain number of those 8 essential amino acids. By varying my sources, I can get all of them, okay? That's pretty much it. I don't want you to check I'm not missing anything. Ask yourself, are you getting enough? And if you're not, do something about it. As always, if you need any help with advice on what you should be eating, how much of, when, anything like that, just give me a bell. But do check your protein levels, because they are key to your body functioning properly, and I want all of you to be functioning as well as you possibly can. Okay, enough from me. Bye.